Hey my friends! Hey, thanks for joining me in another installment of our journey to the old world. That's right my friends, I'm so happy to get back into the game. You know, last time I played was 8th edition. Well, yeah, on a regular basis. Okay, but today, today, instead of working on our night goblins, which are like right over here, we're going to work on some vampire counts. Actually, we're going to work on the contents of this Age of Sigmar box I never got to use. Hey my friends, thanks for watching and liking. And if you can, please subscribe. My friends, this is our 11th video in my journey back into GW. Yeah, so we all know the news, friends. We've all seen the videos. Age of Sigmar is getting some models taken away. Beast of Chaos, the Beastmen, they're coming back to the old world. And a lot of models are getting dropped. Bone Splitters are getting dropped. They're probably going to come back to the old world. It makes me sad, my friends. And I know you're paying, Age of Sigmar players. I know you're paying, bros. It makes me sad, my friends. It makes me sad to see the videos I'm seeing of people putting their models on the table, adding up the costs, symbolically putting them in trash cans, saying, you can feel the hurt and pain, my friend. I've been there. I know how it feels. You know, if I can give you a Warhammer hug, I would. I feel you, friends. I know how it felt. You know, at least to give you guys a warning, you got a year. It doesn't take the sting away. You know, it doesn't take the sting away. So, that's why we're working on this Age of Sigmar set instead of the Night Goblins. Because I know how it feels, my friends, to have the rug swept from under you. Now, when I started playing GW games, you know, I think they were around for like 20 years already. And I kind of figured, yeah, this is a safe hobby to get into. Because I've gotten into other games that have been discontinued. You know, we all have. That's the nature of gaming. You know, as things get discontinued, my friend, because as much as we love these hobbies, man, it's still a business. And these people still need to make money. They got paychecks. You know how it is, my friends. So what we got right here is we got the contents to this awesome box set I never got to use, friends. Because I was trying to get into Age of Sigmar, and I didn't know it, but there was a guy at work who was playing Warhammer who actually wanted to get into Age of Sigmar, wanted to play the rat guys. So we went halves on the set, right? So I got the books, you know, all the chips, all the cool stuff, you know, you get with these things. Unfortunately, that friend from work moved, which was too bad. See, look at all this stuff. Let me try to get a never used, still not punched out. I don't know if anybody's gonna want this. Now these data cards would be good if I was still playing Age of Sigmar. I played a couple of times, just wasn't my cup of tea. There was no playing base for it. But I still got 20 Ghouls, you know, a Ghoul King, and then basically Cryptors. Oh, pardon me, my friends. Yeah, so I still got these brown bases. I'm going to get into 40K. I got models for it already. I've had them for a while. So these round bases will not go to waste. I'll be able to use them for something else, which will be good. You know, there's always a use for stuff. Okay, let's put this back. Okay, so now what we're going to work on, my friends, is we're going to knock out the ghouls really quick, okay? These guys are pretty fast as well, but I don't have bases for them. Okay, so what we should do is we should work on here. Let's do this. All right. We're going to put the big guys back in the box for now, okay? We're just going to focus on the ghouls, because we only got an hour to visit together with, my friends. I don't want to bite off more than I could chew. Now the funny thing is I was already starting to get into Age of Sigmar, so I actually bought some ghouls. I bought the Cryptors. I bought, you know, So I was already having these guys on the round bases already for Age of Sigmar already, okay? So originally what I did was is I basically was playing with my Night Goblins first. You know, me and my buddy were proxying and we were using the square bases, and so I was all gung-ho for Age of Sigmar. So I actually went and bought some ghouls. I love the idea concept of the Ghoul King army, you know, so I was already in it. I was in it. So I already was starting to put a bunch of ghouls on the round bases already. So, you know, I have, this guy's pretty old, dude. Look at this. So, I got him on a round base. It'll be easy to convert him back. But yeah, I even got some of the Mantic ghouls. I bought the Mantic models when they first dropped. I was going to try to get into Kings of War, but no playing base. Nobody wanted to play. So, you know, but I only bought a couple of ghouls and some skeletons to use for my 8th edition army, alright? So basically, it's really funny because, you know, 8th edition, I was like, you know, really like getting super excited for the GW games. You know, I wanted to get into 40K around that time. I mean, dude, I was all in. And so, yeah, I was buying all these models. I was buying stuff super cheap because a lot of people rage quit. Then I got some deals on the VC. and other stuff too, you know. But yeah, we talked about that. But yeah, as you can see, I was already getting ready for Age of Sigmar, you know. So basically, I got you know, I got the contents of this box right here. Okay, you can see all the round bases. So I was getting ready for it, my friends. I was getting ready for it. Hold on, I'm going to pull out 2 models in particular. Let me find the base. There it is. Now, 8th edition, right before the end times dropped, man, there was some good stuff coming out for the vampire counts. Particularly this necromancer. Hold on, let me get where you don't see no glare. This guy was a nice and a beautiful model. He came with this cool sculpture base with like a skull and some rubble on it. But yeah, gorgeous model, my friend. Gorgeous model. They put out a lot of great plastic characters for the VC. And then it all blew up, you know. So that's okay, because I'm getting my second chance. Now, well, these Age of Sigmar players, you know, are they going to get their second chance, you know? I feel for you, my friends. You know, I watch a lot of videos of hurt people. Hey, it was total flashback. It just reminded me of all. It was just total flashback, my friend. It was end times all over again. So, my condolences, my friends. You know, don't keep on playing the models. You know, now I don't play in GW stores, so I don't have to abide by those rules. Now, there is a GW store and closer than I thought, you know. Before I kept mentioning how I would have to drive to Denver, which was like a 6-hour drive. Well, over by Rio Rancho, it's like an hour from here, there's a Warhammer store. And I didn't even know. I had no idea. I was looking up I was looking up some Warhammer stuff to buy, and that popped up. I had no idea. I'm gonna go down there. I'm gonna go down there and check it out. Just go spend some money. Not that I need to, but I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then we're going to get dueling, okay? Hey, it's been about 10 minutes already. Not bad. We got the talking out of the way. Now it's time to get busy. Almost. So, we got, oh God. I have one of these guys built already, okay? This is the second one I picked up. You know, these guys were beasts. But you can see it's all metal. Thank God it's only, you can see I started gluing it already. I already put the one arm on, okay? I still got to put the second, and you can see how funky it is. Well, if there wasn't so much glare, I'm sorry, my friends. There it goes. Yeah. This arm fits in pretty funky. It's going to take a lot of gluing and fitting, and basically a lot of green stuff, my friend, because there's big old gaps. Because it fits in just like this, and there's big old gaps, my friend. There it goes, just like that. But there's all kinds of gaps. I need to go get some green stuff. I love playing these guys. These guys would be able to attack a unit and survive for a round or two, you know, and just, oh God, they were beasts. They were literally beasts. So, as you can tell, my vampire counts are making a comeback as well. Just a little sooner than I expected, because being able to put the ghouls together gave me a chance to talk about Age of Sigmar. You know, I'm going to show you one more thing, my friends. I want to show you this homemade corpse card I made, okay? This guy's pretty neat. Now this is made from an orc chariot, okay? So what happened, my friends, is I bought the orcs battalion box, and it was missing. It had two of the same sprues. I couldn't make the chariot. So I got hold of GW, and they were very kind enough, you know, because I bought the stuff. But basically, they sent me a whole new orc chariot, whole new one. It was nice. So I kit bash, and I made this cool corpse cart. I gotta be careful. I do not want to drop this. This thing is really fragile. So it's the orc chariot, and you can see I got some actually toothpicks, my friend. There's some toothpicks. Okay, I got some zombie bits on there. This is the skull is a club from the giant kit. You can, well, let me pull this off because this falls off. So you can kind of see how I have it set up. This, my friends, is a cannon. I had an extra cannon from some Empire bits. I chopped it up, and I made this like cauldron that kind of goes on top. I was going to take some green stuff and make some flames and use a couple of skulls. And you can see, now this is going to be a drag because this is made for 20mm models. So, but you'll basically, I'll just have to put a necromancer on there and glue them on there. But you can kind of see they fit on it really nice. Now this guy is a necromancer I kit bashed. Come on, focus, Ern. There you go. So I got skeleton arms. That's a zombie head. This was one of the Bretonian battle pilgrims, I think that's what it was. And so yeah. Basically, this guy was the only brightly colored person in my army. Well, all my other guys are pretty drab. Yep. Okay. Let's get busy, friends. Alright. Now, I will be putting out another video of me painting my night goblins. Probably later on today or tomorrow, my friends. I'm going to crank out 2 videos really quick. I was hoping to make a video of me going to the game store, but I got really sick on Easter, my friends. I got really sick. I'm feeling better. Okay, let's get busy, friends. So, yep, we got us some ghouls. Man, I made so many of these guys already. I've made so many of these guys. Alright, so here we go. Let's start cutting. We're only going to make 20 of these. Now I need to order me some more bases. What I need to order, my friends, is I need to order some bigger bases. I need some 40s. And I need stuff for my trolls. So I'm going to order some stuff later on. You know, I'm not sure about the find them at the GW store. You know, I don't really need a lot, so I might do that. I'll have to see how it goes. I got the sticker shock from them wanting 50 cents a base online, so I don't know. I don't know, my friends. I don't mind giving GW money, but I'll give them money for models, okay? If I'm going to spend $100, I'm going to buy some models instead of bases. So we're just chopping off some legs. You know, because pretty much these guys are all interchangeable. That's the nice thing about these ghouls. You can kind of mix it up. These guys are tiny. Now, my ghouls, I got some painted ghouls in my army box. Okay, so my friends, without assembling the stuff I have in this tub and in the box, you know, of this Empire, you know, the Carrion Empire thing, right now, I can presently field 10,000 points of vampire counts easy. Now, my best friend Jesse and I, back in 7th edition, we actually had a 10K game where it was lizardmen against vampire counts. I got photographs somewhere. I got to look around. I posted them on Facebook. Oh, God, we're talking like years and years ago, my friends. I played a couple of 10,000 point games. We played one game where it was 2 5,000 point armies teaming up against 2 other 5,000 point armies. That was a lot of fun. If you have the space and are able to leave the table set up for a while, the giant games are enjoyable. Now, I had it set up on my kitchen table for like, oh God, it took us, what, about a month? About a month to play. And, and basically, that's when we lived in a bigger place where we had more room. Not the townhouse. The townhouses, we couldn't do that now. Oh God, my wife wouldn't let me take up the kitchen table for a month in this place. When we had a bigger home, it was easier. No. Oop. Okay, here we go. Yes, we're just getting these guys all ready to go. We're just going to make a couple quick ones really fast. Got to make sure I'm not chopping the split off. These guys are so flimsy, my friend. But yeah, so my friend Jesse is going to field Bretonians. 500 points of Bretonians now. So that's going to be tough for my Night Goblins, okay? Or just in general. Because now I got to deal with the Lance formation. But it's not going to be that big of a... For 500 points, it's going to be 1 unit of horse... one cavalry unit. And then 2 small unit of bowmen. And then a damsel. And I think that might be it, you know. But they're going to have better stats. You know, the ballistic skill will be better. The toughness and the strength is going to be about the same for the archers. But generally, the humans are going to have a better weapon skill than me. You know, they are. Okay. All right. Any more legs? Or these? Okay, here we go. So I'm hoping to go to the GW store. Oh God, I would love to go today. I don't have much of a budget, but man, I need primer desperately. I need some primer. And I know if I go to the GW store, it'll be a little newer. Now, when I went to the indie store, they didn't have any black primer. They only have white primer in stock, okay? And it's for Night Goblins. So now, if it was for orcs, like regular orcs, then I would go with the green. I would go with the white primer, because that means when I paint over it, my greens would be brighter, okay? Like, you know, the same green will look brighter on the white primer than the black. Now, back in the day, God, they used to sell like the green primer. That made it so easy to do orcs. They don't do it anymore. At least I don't. Well, no, I shouldn't even say that. I have no idea what color primers there is anymore. I got to remember that when I'm talking, we're basing all my knowledge on old experiences, my friend. You know, here I am talking about having to drive like 6 hours, you know, and then there's a Warhammer store like an hour away, you know. So, you know, I got to be careful what I say. At least I correct myself, you know. And I'm not going to be trash talking, GW about what's going on. What's the point? Ain't going to change nothing. You vote with your dollars. Now, I have the, now basically they're going more gung ho on the old world because you know why? Because the old world's making the money now. So they're a business. So whatever makes the money, they gotta basically they gotta pursue that. And that's how it is. That's capitalism at its finest. But I know that you know that basically any purchases I make have a time limit on them. Now, what I'm really hoping, my friends, is that was that the leg for the, well, that's the leg for the champion, isn't it? Hold on, wait. I did cut that one off, didn't I? Hold on. You want to save that leg for the unit champion. Hold on. Okay, that's this guy right here. All right, we're going to put him, we'll put him in this little tray. Okay. But yeah. Yeah, I just know there's a time limit on things, and that's just how it's going to be. Okay, so this is the one for the character, for the unit champion. We're gonna put him together last. I'm so happy they have it slanted. The newer computerized kits, they're nice in a way because they're easy to trim off and build and stuff because they're efficiently designed, with the computer. But they look kind of funky. They don't have the same. I don't know. It's just the computer stuff is sculpted just as well as the stuff I had, or if not better. But it just has a different look. It's more angular. It just has a different feel. It's not worse, not better, just different. That was one thing I noticed when I started making the CAD design models when when they first started breaking that stuff out. God, I'm such an old man. I'm talking about stuff like ancient. But I gotta say, my friends, I wasn't able to buy any of that cool stuff for the old world drop for the night goblins. So it happened when I wasn't in my payday. So there's some stuff on pre-order still. I think I'm gonna order a couple of things. But like I said, right now I'm on the budget. I missed a lot of time off from work because of my health, so I'm a little bit at a money pinch right now. But aren't we all? But I can still be smart about my shopping. Now, fortunately for me, all I really need is character models, and I already got plenty of troops. Okay, I don't really need any more troops. Doesn't mean I won't buy any. I just don't need them. Okay, but now I really want that. Bone grinder giant. So basically, the stuff I'm missing out on is the stuff that was like the Forge World stuff at first. Okay, so that's the stuff I'm happy to get a second chance at. They'll get there. The stuff that got sold out, they'll print it again. I mean, no, I didn't have the money for it then. I'll have the money for it later. It's all good. I really want that Night Goblin command kit. Okay, now when I was at the game store last time, I saw the Age of Sigmar Vanguard kit, and that had some great looking models. In fact, that one has the nice hand whipping shield models that came in the Orc box. So I mean, now the game store, my local game store, the indie one, they have it in stock. Okay, they were asking the same price for what GW was. So that's okay. I don't mind paying the money for it. But I definitely want to get that box, okay? Now, somebody told me in a post I made on Facebook that the trolls are bigger and it'd be harder to get them on the old world basis. But, God, those squig hoppers are beautiful, dude. I love those squig hoppers. Those new ones for the Age of Sigmar. So, whatever Age of Sigmar models I can use for my old world gaming, I'm going to do it. I'm going to convert them. Because I gotta tell you, my friends, when I use those squid hoppers in the last game, the only game I played, man, they did phenomenal. Okay, They didn't last the whole game. They only lasted one combat round. But I had 66 points of Squid Hoppers, took out 120 points of Saurus Warriors. So, that was good. Those guys rocked it. They rocked it. Okay, I need to keep them on there. That's my character guy. Okay, here we go. Some of these arms are really cool, but they're really busy. Like this guy with the big whole skeleton. That's a nice idea, but it was just too clunky looking. I did now. What I would probably do on that is I would cut that skeleton off and I would use them as decorative bits. I don't think I have any guys with that. Okay, here we go. Let's get busy, friends. Now these guys go together pretty simple. It's not that bad. They don't take a lot of cleanup, thank goodness. Now, I tried to get into Age of Sigmar. It just wasn't catching on at the game store. But in defense of just fantasy battle games in general, most of our fantasy games, my friend, were done in our homes, okay? It's 40K that reigns supreme, and it still does. So basically the game stores, my area, it's Magic and 40K. That's pretty much. War Machine really wasn't a thing. Somebody tried to start playing it, but it didn't. I live in a very small town. It's a small gaming community. Now we're away. Where the other store is, we have some colleges over there, so there's a lot younger population base. So of course you're going to see. Now I'm itching to get started in 40K, my friend. That's going to be a different video down the road. But I'm very anxious to get my BC onto the table again. Now myself, I don't mind the fact that vampire counts are a legacy army right now, because the way I figured it is that if they caught on, that they'd bring them back to the Old World. You got to figure, what is it, like Night Haunts and the Ghouls, or what those, and then those. So basically, it'd be easy to fold all those guys back into the Old World under just the BC, overall, mantle with all those troops. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting my legacy army going. Now, I have the unbuilt battalion. I got this guy unbuilt, and so this has some new skeletons, the ghouls. I don't think it came with zombies, if I remember correctly. But I was very disappointed we never got a new zombie kit. They talked about us having one, but that was like back in 8th edition. That was the rumor. Man, so that's okay. We might get one now. Who knows? Probably not. We might. You got to figure, these guys are probably surprised the Old World's making money. I really wish they would get people who played the game more involved in the corporate decisions, my friend. Just for a voice as an advocate for us, But it's a business. And a business needs to make money because they sell stock and they're legally required to make money for their shareholders. I know it's kind of a harsh thing. It's really weird to think how GW started back in the 70s, making models for D&D games, And it's just really weird to see in them now where they're like the biggest thing, and and it's just like, I don't know, it's weird. It's weird to see how that developed. I feel the same way about D&D, I used to get teased about it when I was in high school. Now it's like hip, it's popular. I don't know, you wait long enough, and I drop one in there that needs to get cleaned up, but I can't find it. I'll find it when it comes time to glue them. How are we doing on time, friends? 29 minutes. We got to at least get a couple done. We will. But yeah. So I figure I'm going to get my 2 armies I played in 6th, 7th, and 8th done first, okay? So I started off with vampire counts, become a big horror movie fan, okay? And then I love the orcs and goblins because I'm a big Tolkien fantasy fan. I just like in Warhammer. I'm a D&D guy player. So it was a logical conclusion to start playing the orcs. And and plus two, when in the Warhammer group I used to belong in, we had enough, good guy players. We had an Empire player, we had a Dwarf player, you know, we had High Elves, so we had enough of the good guys. Plus, I like the wackiness and the look of the orc models themselves. I used to love the animosity rule, even though it was a headache. It was still fun. Don't miss it though. I gotta tell you, playing that game with the Night Goblins and having no animosity was nice. Just being able to follow my plans. Now the fanatics, I can't really blame them because I played it wrong. So I'll get back in the groove. But I had fun. I really want to get my stuff going and play an actual game in GW. Now I've only played one game in a GW store, and that was basically how I belong to a little thing where it was like you brought your models, they supplied the paints, that kind of thing, little tutorial thing, and then basically, they taught you how to play. It was all right. It was kind of far from my house. I only went like once or twice, One game session, one painting session. Okay, let's get gluing, friends. Let's get gluing. Now remember how these guys used to lean so far forward. It's all funky. I got a bunch of the metal ghouls. I'll be once I start getting the VC rolling, where it's I'll break out my old models. I'm not going to convert everything to Old World. I'm going to find a way of doing it. I don't mind having some models converted, but basically I'm going to leave some stuff on the old bases. I got enough models where I have the luxury where I can do that, my friends. Now these guys went together quick. That's one thing about these models. The computer stuff is they fit nice, man. Not like the older stuff where you had to hold it and wiggle it. But you don't get, now the thing about this is you don't get to put their arms in the cool position unless you do some major, kit bashing and, stuff, That's a trade-off, Myself, personally, I rather would have it where I can pose my guys more, do a little more extra work, That's just because that's just how that's my first impression, If I never experienced that and just started this and went with the old models, I'd be like, oh God, these models are terrible. Look how hard it is put together. It's just, I don't know. I'm very empathetic, and I try to put myself in people's shoes, Now, I do got to mention, I did see a video that rubbed me the wrong way about this, this whole, what's happening in the Age of Sigmar, okay? I responded very politely. Oh God, I was pretty angry. Not gonna lie, my friends, I was pretty upset. Person was gloating way too much. Saying, yeah, look what happened to you. I know a lot of fantasy players were super hurt when GW blew up the world and released Age of Sigmar, okay? But it wasn't Age of Sigmar's players. It wasn't the players' fault of the game. It was the business decision. At the time, fantasy wasn't making the money. GW was spending all this money trying to go after people in court, make them, because you had all these third parties making money off, off accessories. Now, here's what I would have done. So instead of like suing these people for selling bits, I would have bought their company. I would have sub-hired them. I would have had creative people working for me and taking a chunk of that money. They would have made more money doing that instead of shutting everything down. Because when you shut everything down, you get the ill will from the people you're trying to sell stuff to. That's a lesson corporations don't really know, my friends, because they're too big. The bigger you get, the less removed from your customer base you are. I gotta pour some coffee really quick. Yeah. So, so I've been in retail for 40 years, and I've been a manager for almost all of them, my friend. That's how I can afford all this plastic crap. I don't know why foolishly spend money on it. Now, I never really went to, I never got into other stuff like fixing cars and buying guns. I got friends that do that. It's okay. It's another expensive hobby. This was my expensive hobby. Thank goodness I get to use it again. So, yeah. So what I was saying is it rubbed me the wrong way to see somebody gloating over the pain of people losing their models, all because we got canceled. That person should have knew better, because they know how it felt. They were probably just waiting for decades to be able to say, got you, Age of Sigmar players, got you. That's terrible. I watched that person's video twice. I don't know. I don't know, my friends. It just bothered me. I don't play Age of Sigmar, but I know how it feels to have your models invalidated. It's not a good feeling. And it's not about the money, my friends. It's about what we're doing right now. Putting them together, gluing them. It's your time, my friend. Your time is precious. Your time is the most precious thing you will ever have in your lifetime, my friend, because you cannot buy that back. And if you're lucky enough to recover from something, like a health thing, and you get some borrowed time, it's not quality time, my friends. A lot of times they're messed up. Like for example, I flatlined. I flatlined and died, okay? And thank goodness I was in the ER, right? But ever since then, I've been having problems, my friend. That was when I was 42. Now that I'm 60, I'm having some bad problems, okay? So on Easter, they had to take me out of my job in an ambulance, my friend. I passed out, okay? My blood pressure is like super low, friends. So that's why I kept asking about, subscribe. And, I'm just hoping to get enough ad money to pay utility bill. I'm not going to be able to quit my job. I wish I could. How awesome would it be if I could be a Warhammer guy online and, but, maybe if I was younger and spent more time beginning, but, I'm happy for what I got. And that's you, my friends. Hey, thanks for watching and liking. My Warhammer friends, you guys pushed me to over 1,000, okay? I was doing good, I was making the progress playing video games, but I had a smaller market, smaller customer base, as you would say, And so this was a chance to branch out into a different product. I'm talking retail here, because basically I'm not defending what GW did, but I can understand it. Doesn't make it any better, but I can understand it, okay? Now, you guys got some warning. You guys get to use your army. Well, you didn't get no warning. It was still a surprise. But what I'm saying is they gave you guys a year. All right, a year to use your stuff. That's like a death sentence. That's like a death sentence in a way, because you're going to feel like you're in prison. And as you get closer to that end date, you're going to feel like, oh my God. So either it's going to be two things, okay? Well, for one thing, you're not going to buy no more models of that line, So you're either going to do two things. You're either going to get all gung-ho and play as many games as you can with this army, or you're going to say screw it and just stop playing altogether, I don't know. It bothers me to see this happen to people, my friends. It does bother me. It bothered me enough to where we're putting ghouls together instead of painting night goblins. I wasn't just going to turn on the camera and just complain. I'm not that kind of YouTuber, okay? I'm not complaining because I'm a human being, but I'm not going to just sit here and rant and have you guys just what's the point? What's the point of stirring the pot? There's no point in it. What I'm doing, my friends, is being sympathetic and saying, yeah, bros, I know how you feel. I was there. You get over it. You're always going to be gun shy now. So now, my friends, when you guys buy your models for Age of Sigmar 4th edition, just kind of know, build them right away, paint them right away, play with them right away. because they have a shelf life. So it's basically, everything has a shelf life, my friend. Now, when I started getting into fantasy, and before I started investing my money into it, because I played other games that went out of production, like right behind me right there, that amazing game Pirates. They should have never stopped it. It was a cool game. But, you know, things happen. So, when I started playing Warhammer, it was 20 years old. I figured, hey, this game's safe. It's been around for a while, you know. And I figured I played from 6th to the end of 8th. I got a good couple of years out of it, you know. Now, it's not GW's fault. Actually, in kind of a way, it is their fault I have so many models. Because that's what they want you to buy, you know. They get the better rules. New stuff always gets the better rules, you know. I just didn't have restraint. I'm just lucky that they brought back fantasy and I get the chance to use all this stuff again. And the fact that I can use it as YouTube content is like frosting on the cake, my friend. I'm thankful. I'm thankful for you guys. I really am. So now I'm trying to keep my foot in two worlds, my friend. So my video games and then these board games, because they both got me there. So now I mentioned to you, my friends, how my Warhammer friends, you folks who are watching this right now, thanks. How you got me monetized. You pushed me over to 1,000 subs with one video alone. But I'm not going to run off and forget my friends who got me to the point where I was almost there. That'd make me a terrible person. Now GW needs to remember who got them there. Now they could have did something with those models and not invalidated them. They could have phased them out a unit at a time, okay? Not a full swoop. They should have used the frog in the hot water method, where they get you ready for it bit by bit by turning the temperature up a little bit at a time, you know? And then that way when they finally wipe out your line, you know, you wouldn't have known it because you're all numb from the hot water. It's a tricky situation, my friends, just hobbying in general, because a lot of people who can afford this hobby have jobs and have kids and have, you know, and it's hard to get your hobby time in. Now, the biggest complaint I saw about people's stuff getting invalidating was what we're doing right now. All the time they spent putting it together, you know, painting it. That's what the people were upset about, okay? I can see the money, yes, but there's no price tag you can put on the gluing this together. Look how long we've been at it now. Realistically, we've been at it for like 30 minutes. What I got a couple of guys glued together. Now, I'm not going to lie, my friends. If I wasn't doing this video, I wouldn't be any faster. You know? I would just have a music video on right now. Or I'd be watching a movie with my wife and she'd be sitting over there in the chair and I'd be working on stuff, you know. It's a shame, my friends. It's a shame that that people are going through this. A lot of people are making videos about it. I've only seen that one video where the guy was kind of gloating, you know. Oh God, I was so mad. I was so mad, my friends, because he made us old school Warhammer Fantasy Battle players look bad. That's what I felt. That's what I felt, my friends. Because see, I remember when this stuff dropped and being on the forums and all these Age of Sigmar players, not all of them, some of them, the trolls. There's trolls for every game, my friend. It's just human nature to be trolls for some people. And I remember people saying, oh yeah, you know, blah, 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 your game sucked, that's why it's canceled, our game's superior. Everything gets canceled, my friend. Just wait long enough. Everything comes back. Just wait long enough. Just enjoy it while you have it. I tried to get in Age of Sigmar. Played a couple of games. We just didn't have a player base. And why we didn't have a player base is because GW blew up the world. And they blew up the player base where I lived at who would have played Age of Sigmar. Now, if they were smart, they would have done both, my friends. They would have had a skirmish game for Warhammer with the round bases. I would have known tons of people who would have played both games, my friend. And then what you do is you don't release nothing new for fantasy. You release all the cool stuff for Age of Sigmar. If you were going to do like a dual system, I would have done it so differently. But that's what happens when you have your decisions based on money and not about people's feelings. Now, you can't go the opposite and be all feelings and not be concerned about money. You got to be able to balance things, my friends. It's all about moderation and balance, you know. Because if GW is not going to make money, how are they going to make us these cool models, you know? Same thing with any miniature company. Now, GW has a different problem on their hands, and that's 3D printing, my friend. I've been seeing a lot of videos where people are 3D printing armies for the old world. And I imagine 40K and games in general. Now, this is something that all manufacturers are going to be concerned about, you know, that sell plastic models. It's just technology, friends. GW needs to adapt. They will. If they're smart, they will. See, the problem is you just can't have a 3D printing file that will disappear. At least I don't know. I don't know. See, for GW to make money on printing files, you'd have to be able to have it where you print 20 models and then it doesn't work no more. I wouldn't be surprised if they're working on that. You know, and then you make it cheaper. But these guys won't. Look at the digital books. The actual physical rule book, which, thank you, Jesse, for letting me borrow it. This is some serious reading, friends. So this is 70 bucks, okay? Now the PDF was like $51. I know it takes some work to make the content, and they need to make their money back, but I would rather have a physical book than the PDF. You know, just because I like having the feel of the book. Now, if the PDF was like 40 bucks, I would have bought it already. But it's just easier to have a book when it comes to games, because you're not scrolling. It's not, and plus too, man, I got the old man eyes. I can't be staring at a little tiny phone trying to read rules. You know, I need a book. Sorry, Age of Sigmar players. I'm sorry for you, my friends. I know how it feels. It's crappy. And here I am putting my GW models together, ready to give them more money. Don't worry, my friends. We all take our turn on the chopping block. It's kind of ironic and sad. How much money has GW made from people like me that buy stuff and never put it together, you know? Once the money's in their pocket, man, my friends, then it's on to the next transaction. That's how business works, you know. So GW always has to worry about, like, what's the next new shiny? They got to have something we're gonna buy all the time. Now, I'm really happy that the Old World's a success and they're broadening the scope. That's good for us fantasy players, because that's showing GW that, hey, they could have been making money from us the whole time, you know. I imagine there was probably somebody in the company who was saying that they should never discontinue it, and, you know, at least I'm hoping. See, it does no good to speculate and to think about things like this, because you get yourself all wound up, because you project your personal experiences on things, okay? Because that's all we have, and that's the lens we look through. Now that video I saw, that person must have got really hurt. They must have got really hurt, my friends, to be able to be like all gleeful and happy all these years later. I don't know, dude. I don't get it. I don't get it. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed. Gotta hope I'm not causing some feud. I didn't say I was a streamer in the comments, so hopefully the person would leave me alone. and it's just crazy because this person had like 10,000 subscribers. You know, the video had like almost 3,000 views. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't get it. I would love to have that kind of views and subscriber base. Not gonna lie, it'd be awesome, dude. It'd be awesome to have 10K subscribers. You know, but I don't know, dude. You gotta be as a content creator. You know, the stuff that we make, you know, people watch. You know, and you gotta have some positivity. You know, even though I'm complaining about GW right now, I'm not like all like hateful. I'm just telling it how it is. You know, because I have that luxury. Because I worked in retail. I've worked in management. You know, and I played the games and I know people, and I used to be a salesman, and you know, so it's just like, you know, it boggles my mind. But they're still making money. They're still around, so they're doing something right, you know. But you know, is it long term or is it short term solutions? You know, I don't know. I've never done that before, where I've kind of made comments like that. I was very polite. Oh God, I had to edit my first comment. Oh God, yes. Oh geez. Yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. This game is fun, my friends. This hobby is fun. It's a very soothing and satisfying thing to put together little models, paint them, you know, think up little stories for your troops. You know, my Warhammer Fantasy, they all had, all my friends, when we all played, we all had our little stories about our towns, our armies, you know, my necromancer. Now the reason why my necromancer has skeleton arms, because he bonded with the ghouls by putting his arms out and letting them eat the flesh of his arms. But it sounds all crazy and gross, but it was a cute backstory for my vampire accounts. You know, we all had stories we told, you know. All our characters all had names. And then our games would become part of our battles, you know. When I saw my friend Jeremy the other day, you know, I haven't seen him in like over a decade. The first thing we talked about was our orc and orc battle and how fun it was, you know. Boom, you know. And it seemed so real to us. You know, we laughed and we remembered, you know. It was just because it was real. Because it is real. Because we put our emotions and feelings into these games. It makes it real, my friends. Now, my wife teases me all the time about my dollies. But if it really bothered her, she wouldn't let me spend money on them. Now, she's mentioned before how she would rather have me be here than out in the bars or out doing this and that, you know, because at least I'm home and I'm hanging out with nerds. I'm not going to get in trouble. Only the bank account gets in trouble. But I've always been pretty good about the spending, my friends. Now, I do regret not saving all the money I used to make when I was in management. Yeah, but you know what? I'm glad we spent it. Me and my wife doing stuff and buying things, you know, because you got to live for the moment. You got to, like, prepare for the future. But, man, you got to have those moments in life. You got to live. I've had some great Warhammer games. Had a couple crappy ones, too. You know, we've all played that person that's a jerk. That's a nice way of saying it. God, I remember one time I was playing this game against this guy, and people hardly played against him because he was like hardcore raw, dude. You know, and then our rules as attended, he would look for any loophole. Man, totally nobody liked to play him. And so I played a couple of games with him. I felt bad for him. But after, okay, so one game he was going to try to charge into my vampire accounts, right? Because in all the games he played, the first thing, as soon as round one come, they would try to kill my general. Because in the VC, when your general dies, your army dies. So constantly he was protecting the general. So he was going to try to charge me. So I said, dude, you're not going to fit in there. And then he breaks out a compass and a protractor. And I said, dude, get out of here with that stuff. Because, see, I used to be a picture framer, and I used to measure for a living. So I used to be able to look at the distance and tell you how many inches it was. I can't do that as good. I noticed that in my game I play at the game store, but I'll practice, my friends. But oh yeah, my eye for measurement used to be exact. So when I used to play War Machine, my War Machines would always hit, because I would be off. Well, it'd very rarely be off. So when this guy broke out a ruler and not even the right kind of measuring tools. You don't use a compass to say you can get in there. Had to, oh, I called him on that. And then I quit playing the game halfway through. And I said, dude, you're a jerk. And that was the last time I played. I helped him move. I helped him pack. I was still his friend. Just never played Warhammer with him again. And I told him why. So he can learn. I told him politely. I didn't yell at him. He was also in our D&D group, and we also kicked him out too. Because some people are just provocateurs and just want to cause trouble. Doesn't matter what game system you are, Yeah, craziness. Hobbies in general. Here I am talking about D&D and little miniature games like it's real, like it matters. For some people it does. For some, it's not even on the radar, friends. Oop, let him go too soon. Yeah. It's funky. Now I'm hoping to get a game in, not this week, but next week. my friend's still getting the army together. Plus, I'm just a little under the weather. I'm not up to going down to the game store and hanging out this week. I'm still kind of like recovering. That's why this video is out a little late too. I'm not behind. I'm still keeping up with my 1 a week promise, but the 2 a week's more fun, God, if I could, my friends, if I could, I would just do this every day. If I didn't have to work, dude, I'd just be Wargamer guy all the time. What a life. How nice would that be? Now I'm getting close. Oops, dang it. Hold on, give me a second. I dropped the guy. And it doesn't help that I have the beige carpet. This used to be a rental that we bought. We're doing a lot of work on the house, redoing flooring and stuff. We got a good price on the place. But then I got really sick and we had to stop working on the house, and now we're trying to play catch up. It's a bunch of little stuff. All right, friends, here we go. Now we're getting ready to start doing some arms and heads on. How are we doing on time? 57 minutes. We're going to go a little longer on this one. It'll be all right. Got to get at least a couple of guys put together. So, I'm thinking about a small 500-point force of vampire counts. I'm probably thinking about bringing like a ghoul army first, Now the thing about the VC is the troops are pretty cheap, core-wise, but the characters are pretty expensive. So at 500 points, it's going to be tough. That's why I'm thinking all ghouls with some vampire thralls. This Geogi, basically, that bloodline. Okay, let's get some arms, my friends. Let's get some arms. Okay, what we got here? Yep. But I figure I'm going to do like 1,000-point forces, okay? Now for my VC, it's going to be pretty easy. Because like I said, I have a lot of stuff unassembled. I got a newer corpse card I bought on eBay that the guy sent me, and a paper padded envelope, my friends. It was crushed. So I was pretty peeved. Talked to the guy. He wasn't going to do nothing for me until I had to get YouTube involved. So basically, he cut me a discount and refunded my shipping. And I'll just have to reglue it and repair it. It's not, now it's a hobby project instead of just being able to field it on the table. I gotta be careful cutting these guys off, man, because these are. Oh, am I gonna lose this thumb? Dang it! Hold on. God, Why would they put his thumb so close to where you trim off on his hand? Oh, God. That's the thing about the CAD stuff, you know. You got it was all so pointy and spindly, you know, because they can do it, you know. I just got to hold on to the arms while I cut them off, that's all. Now, we're not going to use all of them. I'm going to have some extras. And then what I'll do is I'll probably just use those for bits. Mostly taking the hands off. Using them for other stuff, what they're holding in their hands. I can do weapon swaps. What I was doing was I was taking my metal ghouls, cutting their hands off, and then putting the newer ghoul hands on so they would have like a combination of different. Mostly it's always about the weapon swap, mostly. A lot of the stuff I was doing was weapon swap, you know. Oh, come on, don't pop up too much. There we go, bam. But yeah. So I figure I'll do 1,000 point of VC. Because I don't want to convert any of my old 8th edition stuff at all. I'm not going to be converting any old models. It's all going to be about putting. I have enough unbuilt plastic where I can do that. You know, so that's nice, you know. And then the orc stuff, you know, I was working on a giant orc wall. So I have a lot of orc stuff that's not even on bases yet. They're just, you know, glued together. I'm not on a base yet. So it'll be easy to use those for the old world. I'm just thankful that I get to use my old toys. I was telling my buddy Jesse, was telling her about how much CW was charging for the bases, and then she asked me, well, hey, where'd you get your bases from again? Easy pegs, my friend. I'm not getting no money from these guys, but I like their bases. I should send them an email. Tell them I'm hyping them. See if they'll send me anything for free. It's worth a try. You never know. I mean, it'd be different if I was a big-time Warhammer YouTuber. Now I'm on my way. I'm starting. I'm just happy to be able to play the game again. I gotta tell you, my friends, it was a blast playing that 500-point game. It was a blast. It brought back so much old good feelings. Yeah, we're just gonna totally clean all this stuff off the sprue, my friend. Okay, hold on. God, there's so many cool bits, all these little bones and everything. Okay. That's gonna have some heads we're gonna take off there. Okay, let's get these arms. And we'll get gluing. Yeah. So, I know I probably won't get to film inside the GW store. But I'm going to film in the parking lot. You know, just talking. I wish I could film inside, but I know they're not going to let me because, and I won't even ask. I'll talk to the guys and let them know I do Warhammer on YouTube. Here. Okay, these are going to be the arms. Okay, here we go. Let's get gluing, friends. I got enough to get started. Let's start separating these by right to left here. Get gluing. Yep. Now, I've always been fond of the Ghouls. They've been great troops in the past for me. Basically, in my games, Ghouls were my giants and dragon killers. The fact that they were skirmishers in the game and they had poison with 2 attacks made a big difference, my friend. I used to have a buddy who was a chaos player, and every game, dragon and a giant, you could always count on facing a dragon and a giant. Dude, that was harsh. That was harsh, having to face both. So basically what I did was I set my ghouls loose on the giant right away. You know, So I basically had to take out one of the big models right away, or I wouldn't survive, you know. I've only won like 2 games against that KS player. But man, they were fun. I don't care if I win. See, as long as I get to play. It's all about getting to play and hanging out with your buddies. That's what this is all about. When you win, that's frosting on the cake, okay? Now, the fact that I used to lose a lot and was very gracious about it and was good humored about it means I got to play a lot of games because I was an easy victory, you know? And I wasn't all bitter about it. Oh, God, I played people who were bitter about losing. It's no fun, man. It's no fun to have that person in your group. It's not. Sportsmanship is a big thing, my friends. It makes a big deal. Because if you're being a jerk, man, they're gonna talk about you when you're gone, okay? And the word's gonna spread in your gaming community. And nobody wants to play a jerk, you know. And it's too easy for people to be trolls now, you know. It's too easy. Okay, I want to get all the arm options down there. But yes, my friends, I love miniature gaming. I like putting plastic models together in general. That's kind of what I used to do back in the 70s. Oh God, I have a whole closet full of reproduction models from stuff from the 70s. Now, I've spent like 20 years amassing all kinds of stuff, okay? This was all supposed to be for my retirement. I was going to retire and, you know, play games, put together plastic models, board games, you know, because I'm into board games. All the zombie side, D&D. But as the reality set in, that basically I'm not going to be able to retire like I wanted to. I'll probably have to work all the time. But now I'm having a different picture where health is an issue, and now I'm scrambling to think, how am I going to make it in the future, you know? I mean, I'm not going to be like on the streets. It's just times are going to be tough, you know? Thankfully, you know, we got a good deal on this house and our payments are low, you know? I figured I was going to work until like in my 70s, my friend, because I'm in pretty decent shape other than my heart. Other than my heart, like the most important thing, my body. Other than my heart, I'm great. You know, I'm not obese. You know, I'm pretty wiry for my age. You know, I'm not afraid to work hard. You know, but that's killing me now. So I've been okay, my friends. I've been working since I've been 12 years old. I've had a job since I've been 12 years old. I'm 60 years old. All I know how to do is work. I got calluses in my hands. I got work in my hands. You shake my hands, you could tell I worked for a living. You know? And I don't know how to relax. But I need to learn. Because if I don't, you know, I'm not going to be around. So, this last Sunday on Easter was a big eye-opener, my friends, for me and my family, you know, because I got to change things, man. Because if I don't, you know, I'm going to have some problems, you know. I've already flatlined once. And because of the heart damage I have, my chances of having a heart attack has increased by 50%. That's a big percent, my friends. So I got to be very careful. And the crazy part about it is I work in asset protection. Now they're getting me off the floor and I'm working more in claims. But my job was to walk around and check receipts and at the door, help catch shoplifters. Oh God, it's been later on down the road. Maybe I'll be able to tell those stories, okay? Now, I'm not allowed to talk about my job because if I say anything, it can jeopardize a court case. I already talked to my supervisor about it already. So I'm not allowed to talk about anything about my job until I can quit. I've seen some crazy stuff happen in my job, my friends. That's why I love this kind of stuff, you know. Now, I had a buddy of mine. He was an officer. He was a police officer, and this hobby, because he was telling me about it, he said this hobby saved him, saved his sanity, because he would see all this terrible stuff at his job, you know. So that's the great thing about hobbies, my friends. Some people need hobbies, dude. Some people need hobbies because their work life and their real life is so harsh. I get threatened every day. Every day I go to work, I get threatened by knuckleheads. They have no right threatening me. But what can you do? And I can't do nothing back. That's the problem, my friends. I can't do nothing back. Nothing. Not allowed to. Got to follow the rules. Even though those guys don't. Okay. Enough of that terrible stuff. Let's get back to the things that matter. Putting together ghouls. Okay, so I'm basically putting together piles of right and left arms. Okay. And then that way I can kind of just grab them and we'll make them look good. I want to have all the variations out so I can get a nice mix of arms. Because unfortunately, since I can't pose these guys, the only way to make them individual is by, you know, the combination of the arms. Making sure they have different weapons, you know. Some guys will have 2 weapons, some guys will have no weapons. Because they got poison, their hands are weapons. Okay. That's my stomach grumbling. Hope you didn't hear that. I have a Pop-Tart in there, but I never ate it. I gotta get busy. But I really felt like I should make this video. Pardon the crazy hair. My wife calls this my mad scientist look. I need a haircut. I'm at that point where I can't do this with my hair. I just look like a crazy guy. Oh, dude, I cut this guy's thumb off. Dang it. Oh, I sure did. Oh, man. Okay, so we're going to put his arm over here. Yeah, that's that one I was having trouble where the thumb was right next. I guess I did cut it. I did mess it up. No biggie. There's going to be extra arms. I got tons of these arms in a baggie anyways, man. Because I already built like a bunch of ghouls. I have almost 100 ghouls. I used to bring, we used to play massive games. See, that's what I liked about 8th edition, was the fact we were able to bring giant armies. Now, you know, I can see why it became a problem for people to be able to afford that. But, you know, the problem is, now I remember starting, when I first started playing Warhammer, it was like, you know, 10-man units, 20-man unit was giant, you know. And I just saw it change because of the bloat. Because these guys had to sell more models, you know. And I played along, you know. You play with the meta you have, you know. If everybody has big units, you have big units. Everybody plays small units, you bring in small units, you know. You got to adapt to the curve. Now, I'm very curious to see how they play this out with the Old World. I'm really hoping that GW learns from their past mistakes, you know. I just hope they don't see dollar signs, you know, on the table and just milk us right away and then drop us. But if they do, I'm prepared. Now, the thing about it is like I was telling my friend Jesse, we have the luxury of having a bunch of models, and we don't have to go scrambling around trying to buy this stuff, you know. Now, my friend Jesse has a bunch of stuff still sealed. A lot of Bretonian stuff I sold her back years ago. Because I had a friend give me a bunch of Bretonian stuff. Okay, so when the 8th edition dropped, my friends, a lot of the people I knew were just like, they were playing it since they were kids, you know. And they were playing it for like years, you know, 15, 20 years, you know. They were playing it for a long time, you know. And so when things went kablooey and they blew up the world, there was some ill feelings. I got a ton of stuff for free. Tons. So I owe my friend Jessie some money. I gave her the models in exchange. Now she's going to be able to turn those around. Still sealed. A lot of metal stuff. A lot of metal. So I hope my friend can make some money on that. Because, you know, the thing about us old school players is we just have tons of this stuff. You just kept buying and buying, you know. A lot of people couldn't keep up. Now, I had the luxury of having a decent job and a wife who was okay with me doing this. I still looked for deals. I still looked for all the deals I was able to find. Because that's just being a smart shopper, you know. Now, I had some friends, you know, who make some good money. And they're able to buy this stuff, you know, a little easier. They play 40K still. I can't wait to get into 40K. I know it's going to be pricey, but I'm going to play orcs. I already got a... We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about ghouls. So I'm thinking I'm going to put together a little 500-point force. So what I'm hoping to do is I'm hoping I can kind of mirror my friend's army by having a unit of cavalry and 2 small units. Just so it'll be kind of like, now I can do the same with my spider riders. I can bring those in for the night goblins. Okay, this is going to be funky here. Here you go. Come on, man. They fit together nice, but having that rounded socket, they want to slip. But there you go. But yeah, I love ghouls. Basically I used to play. Most of my armies were always core. Okay, that's been my play style. I generally bring a lot of core. So when I played, night goblins and vampire counts, most of my army was core. I love the look of big units on the table because then it looks more like a war game that way, you know. And hey, folks, it's been an hour and 17 minutes. We're just going to go a little bit longer. Hour and a half most, okay? I'm trying to play catch up, my friends. My video content output was really low this week just because I wasn't feeling good. My wife was actually kind of upset that I made the videos I did. She wanted me to just take a whole week off. And it's hard for me because this is the funnest thing I do. I don't consider this like work. I try to tell, the people I love about me that, hey, I love doing this. This is not hard for me. This is not work. It's actually going to work that's hard on me. The pressure of keeping up with making content. Because you know what? I'm happy to put videos out. Generally my videos, for my video games, I get anywhere from, 30 to 100 views. 100 views is my live stream kind of stuff. So, so when I got to tell you, my friends, all these Warhammer videos, they're my best videos on my channel. All my highest view ones are on my Warhammer stuff lately, okay? Other than a couple of raids and stuff, some rare events that happen in my video streaming. But man, you guys push me over the top. Now, like I said, that's why I promised to do at least one video a week, because I want to keep you guys happy and grow our relationship, together. Because I'm serious about this, my friends. I know a second chance. I'm all about second chances. I've already died once. I flatlined when I was 42. Only reason why I'm talking to you now, my friends, because I was in the emergency room when it happened. If it wasn't for that fact, I wouldn't be around. I'd be gone a long time ago. So I'm very happy about the situation. Okay, so this guy got the bear arm, so we got to give him a weapon arm. Let's give him a bone. Okay, yeah. But yeah, I know all about the second chances. You don't waste them. You don't get them all the time. You don't get them all the time, friends. Hold on. God, how's that fit in here? There it goes. Yeah, some of these are pretty... Now, I'm glad these ghouls are going on bigger bases, because I remember putting these guys on a 20mm base was a headache, my friends, because they have all these dynamic poses where their arms all stretched out, So, thank goodness these are going on 25s. Oh, yeah, he got glued to the table. All right. Gotta move these guys around so they don't. Yeah, folks. It's hard. I feel bad for you, Age of Sigmar players. I would never gloat over your feelings and that your army is getting wiped out, because I know how it felt. Now that person that made that video, karma's going to come back. They're going to get, you got to be careful how you get your views. You want to have content that represents you. Here I am lecturing this person who has 9,000 people more than I do. It just rubbed me the wrong way. It rubbed me the wrong way to see somebody gloating over somebody's pain when I know how that pain felt. And the fact that it's a former fantasy player should know better. Should know how it feels. Now, was the person playing it up for views? Partially. But you have to believe in what you're saying to even get the idea for the video. Okay, so this guy got a bare hand, so we're going to give him like a weapon in this hand, okay? So it's mostly bones. These guys had bones and rocks mostly is what they were using. I thought that was kind of cool. The fact that, because they're poison. They don't really need weapons. Because they're all gross and dirty. From digging in the graves, and, because they're ghouls, They're basically, vultures, without the charm. Now these guys are pretty easy to paint. I basically gave them, I used white primer, I gave them a flesh coat, and then I used a flesh wash. Bam! Because they're supposed to be like corrupted humans, Because see, when I was playing the vampire counts, the ghouls were the only part of my army that wasn't undead. They were the only unit that would run away. Because I remember you couldn't heal them past their starting point. It wasn't until they started bringing in the Ghoul King thing and trying to push that, But before, you couldn't bring your ghouls back. It was like, they were like a one-shot. Yep, I'm looking forward to going to the GW store. It's going to be a fun experience. I tried to go last week, but it didn't work out. I'm really hoping to go this week. I really want to go today. I really do. I have a little extra money this paycheck. Not enough to be buying like a bunch of models, but enough to buy a can of primer or two. That's what I need to do. I mostly need to start spending money on getting the supplies needed for the troops I have already. That's what I need to do, friends. I need to work on that. And I've been pretty good. I'm going to order some more bases on the internet today. I got these through Amazon. I'm not allowed to put a link in my thing yet. I guess I'm not, I don't know. Well, I might have read it wrong. There's a lot of rules about monetization, my friend. And I don't mind following the rules. Because that's my job. And my job, I enforce rules. It's crazy. I used to be a picture framer and I ended up asset protection. They wanted me to be a store detective and walk around, but I can't because of my heart. I had to tell them to stop asking me. I actually took out my heart attack pills and showed the manager, like, hey, I have these, I can't do that. I'll help you guys. But I can't be the guy, I've helped. All right. Is that a little bit? Now, God, with these models, I can't tell what stays on and what doesn't. Okay, that's part of the sprue right there. There you go. Now, the thing about these models is they're so spindly and stuff that the fingers break really easy. I got a bunch of these guys in the case with the foam. Okay, that goes on like that. Okay, man, come on, get in there, friend. There it is. Oh, it's that. Oh, it's that hand. Okay. There it is. Oh, I remember this arm. Yeah. I think that's why I didn't use a lot of that one. Because that one is like right against the head. It's holding the bone. Yeah, we're not going to use that one. Not right now. I don't feel like battling it. There it goes. Yeah. I want to give myself some room. I'm very happy that these guys are in bigger bases now. Because these guys, really, they all hunch forward. Now, I remember putting these guys on the 20mm bases was a pain. I'm really happy about the bigger base sizes now. Because that was a struggle back in all the editions. I remember we would have to, I have some units where I have location numbers written on the bottom of the bases. So they fit in a certain way, you know. I'm glad that's not a problem anymore. I sure am. I'm glad that's not a problem no more. Okay, so now, hold on. Okay, now we can use this arm on this torso, because that's going to fit better. Okay, let's glue that excess, just get that excess glue off. Clean it up a little bit. Yeah, because I remember there's like one arm has to be on a certain torso, or if not, it like hits on the head. I remember having problems before. Because you didn't have the luxury of being able to move these guys around. There it is. It's a nice pose. It's just tough if you have the wrong torso on there. This guy does not want to stick, huh? You don't want to stick, friend. What's going on with that? You don't want to be part of the army? All right. That's okay. We can fix that. Dang it. There it is. I know it's not my glue. It's not like it's old glue. It's just not really fitting well. I'm going to have to wait till that one dries and scrape the glue off it. I am just struggling with this one, aren't I? Why aren't you going in, friend? Oh, dang it. That can't be it. Hold on. There it goes. There it goes. It's funky how some of these ones fit. Because it has the little shallow, you know, the half circle opening, you know, it's rounded. This guy's not wanting to fit. Why aren't you fitting, my friend? Don't make me use a bunch of glue. Yeah, this is not going in at all. Just does not want to fit in there nice. Okay. It's always that one model. There it is. Yes, this one fits it at a funky angle. There it is. Yeah, I remember this arm now. There, yeah. What a pain. Okay, let's let that one sit. And then we'll put the other arm on later. That one was a little more, that was a struggle. That was a struggle, friends. How are we doing in time? Oh, an hour and a half almost. Oh, God. Hope I'm not boring you folks. I usually don't go more than an hour. I'm sorry. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I think I am. I love putting stuff together. There we go. Yeah, just that one arm's a hard one for some reason. It's a weird angle. It's like his arm's like that, you know. Okay. Man, was it like a 5 average? What was it with me in the 5s, you know? Okay, so we're going to give this guy a weapon hand. But yep. We're going to end this here in a minute, my friends. After we get this arm glued on, we're going to call it a bid. Next time you see these guys, they'll be ready to be primed and painted. I don't know, I feel like I should at least get one with the head on it, huh? Hold on. How we feel like we did something, you know what I mean? Okay. Thank goodness they make these guys easier to trim. And these are pretty decent cutters. You gotta spend your money on your tools and buy good tools. Okay. There we go. Yeah, we gotta have at least a couple of guys done. Felt like we did something. I can't leave it like unfinished like that, you know. Not good form. Now what I'll probably do is those ghouls I have on the round bases, I'll probably pop those off and use them for the old world right away. So I'll have a good amount of ghouls next time we see each other, my friends. Yeah, these guys had the coolest faces. Now, I started putting some Empire Knights together using the ghoul heads. I gotta find them and finish that project. I was gonna use them as Black Knights. Because that's one unit I never had. I never had the, oh no, the Blood Knights, I'm sorry, Blood Knights. I never had the Blood Knights because that unit was mega expensive, my friend. I wish I would have bought them. But yeah, they were just out of my price range. So if they ever reissue them again, I'm going to swoop them up. We'll see. The time to buy them used was a couple of years ago. It's not a good time to buy them used now because everybody's buying stuff for the old world. So basically, you know, it's a buyer's market. So, you know, people are getting higher prices for stuff. And come on, zombie head. I mean, ghoul head. Get on there, friend. Dang it. Sticking to my finger. There it is. Yeah. Neat. There it is. There it is. There's 2. Yeah. Almost done, friends. Let me glue on like 3 more heads. And we're done with our 5 guys. God, it's always like 5 guys. It's weird. My last painting video, we got 5 guys done. Maybe because I'm talking too much. But then what's the fun of that, you know? You're just going to watch me be quiet and put things together? I wouldn't. I'm not that fabulous at putting these guys together. It'd be different if I was amazing. I got some good kit bashes. I should give myself credit. But I'm not like the master. I'm not Golden Demon, you know. I'm just a guy who loves playing with my troops. All right. Cool. It's gonna be fun. Now I did tell my friend that I am working on BC, so it's not like a total surprise. Our next game we play together will be with my Night Goblins, But eventually I'll be breaking the BC into the rotation. This was just basically a way for us to talk about Age of Sigmar. Because that video I saw really got my goat. And I just didn't want to rag on the video. It made me think about it. It brought up a lot of feelings. And I think they needed to be addressed. Okay, oh God, watch out, Ernie. Gotta be careful with that X-Acto knife. That's one thing you don't want to have fall on you. Okay, where's the head I just put on there? Yeah. These guys had the coolest faces. I was not a fan of them being all hunched over, though. That's just like, you know, I like some of them that way, but I don't know. It was a weird aesthetic to get used to. Well, this guy's sticking in my hand again. Hold on. Dang it. Should have got my tweezers out. Should have glued the heads on first, but I like to put the heads on last so I can kind of have them like facing a certain way, you know. Yeah, looks good. Two more, friends. Two more. One more. Two more. Two more. Two more, and we're going to call it a night. Oh, video, I mean. Sorry. Video. Well, folks, I hope you've been having some great games. I hope your hobby time is awesome, my friends. Age of Sigmar players who are losing armies, my condolences. I take no glee in your situation. It's business, my friends. It's not personal. It's just business. Don't take it personal. Don't take it personal that GW hates your particular force. It's just business, friend. It's just business. These guys got to make money. And if your stuff doesn't make money for them, then it gets phased out. Enjoy the hobby time while you got it. That's what it's all about, friends. Enjoy the hobby time while you have it. Paint up your troops with all the passion and love you have. Glue them together. Put your personal touch on. Have a great game with your friends. And cherish those memories. They can take your models away, but they can't take away that part of it, my friends. Don't get bitter. As long as you don't get bitter, then you'll be okay. Bitterness is bad for you. Happens to us all one time or another. We all have our turn to the chopping block, friends. I keep looking at the time. That's why I'm looking at my computer screen. I didn't mean to keep you guys later more than an hour. Oh, dude, that's not even the right arm. Oh, God, that looked all weird. Hold on. Let's put this one on there. It was all twisted and broken. Wrong arm on there. That's funny. I can fix it, no biggie. I'll scrape off the glue. Yep. Ooh. Hold on. I gotta put this head on first, or I'm not gonna get it in there. That was the bad thing about these ghoul models, that if you didn't paint it on the sprue, man, the paint jobs were hard. That's why I just went like basically just a flesh coat and a wash on these guys, because when you get them put together, dude, you can't even get to the head. It looks all, come on, man. Don't glue them, don't glue my hand there. You got this, ghoul. Don't be difficult, friend. Don't be the difficult one. Nobody likes a troublemaker. There it is. Yep. This one's going to be funky, because this one, yeah, there it is. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 guys! It's always like 5 guys. We're almost done with this, friends. Dang it. I got really messy with this one. This is that problem. Yeah, we got it. There it is. Come on, we're getting in there. There it is. I got too much super glue on my fingernail. On my fingertips, I mean. There it goes. There it goes. All right. Perfect. There it is. Okay. I gotta be careful touching my glasses with the glue too. Last thing I need is glue on these lenses. Well, folks, hey, I'm glad we spent this time together. I look forward to our time together, my friends. I look forward to these videos. I wish you had a way of responding back to me in real time, but that's okay because you don't watch these in real time. I know a majority of my audience is European. Thank you, my friends. I want to thank everybody who watches me. It means a lot to me, friends. Hey, you have a great day, okay? So, now, we didn't have any problem with sound because I didn't hit the table. I have a tendency of smacking the table when I talk. Or, I don't know, as you can tell, I move my hands around a lot when I talk. Very expressive. Okay, folks, hey, thank you for watching. Next time you see these ghouls, they'll be primered and ready to paint. And our next video, we'll be working on our 9 goblins again. So probably, if not today, tomorrow. Okay, friends? Thank you for watching and liking. I hope you guys have an awesome day or night. It means a lot to me this time we spend together. May your dice roll all 6s, and may you have great time with your friends when you play these games. Bye, my friends. I gotta go. See you later.